everybody, and welcome back to my channel. It's Monday. I am just hanging out today. I was doing some work this morning to get ahead on some things because I'm going out of town tomorrow. So I also went to the gym, ate some breakfast, and now I am on the way to, or about to be on the way to pick up our grocery order. Then I'm actually gonna go to the beach for a couple hours today. I'm excited because Micah and I have our 1-year anniversary trip and Chloe's wedding, which is Micah's sister. So we're gonna drive down to Florida on a Wednesday afternoon when Micah gets off work, and then her wedding is on Friday. I think Thursday will be like, I think there's a brunch or something with the girls, and yeah, so we will celebrate Chloe and celebrate them getting married. Chloe and Aiden, we love them. And then we will be going to Anna Maria Island on that Saturday to stay there for a few days, and we'll be there on our anniversary day, which is on June 11th. And so super excited about that. I've been ordering like some new bathing suits and just some like summer clothes because obviously summer is coming and I just don't want to wear all the clothes I wore last year. So some summer clothes and some like flip-flops. I literally, maybe there's people who can relate to this. I feel like summer to summer, all of my flip-flops disappear. I'm like, I don't know if I've secretly put them away somewhere and I can't remember where I put them, but they're gone. And so I'm realizing, I'm like going through my closet, I'm like, I literally cannot find my flip-flops. So I'm ordering some like cute sandals, some flip-flops just to like wear to the beach and stuff. It's been fun gearing up for that trip. Leaving the beach now. It was a good couple of hours. I think it was like right at 2 hours. It's 3 o'clock now. I think I got here like 1. I have some food in the crock pot at home. I'm gonna go check on, take a quick shower to wash the sunscreen off. We'll just hang out tonight. I think we'll end the vlog and then I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow. Talk a little bit about emotional boundaries between friendships. I've been getting some questions about that since our last video, our last Q&A. I think we touched on that a little bit. I will pick this back up either sometime this evening or tomorrow morning. We'll see. Hey y'all, it is next day. It's like almost 8 o'clock. I am headed to the church. Staff meeting starts at 9. I'm gonna get there a little early. Just wanted to come back on here and just share my heart a little bit about emotional boundaries in friendships. I think I've touched on this a couple times, like just in like Q&As and stuff, but a couple of you have asked me to go more in depth with what I mean. It's hard to explain, but I think basically what I mean is that there is a place of emotional intimacy that is only made and only intended between husband and wife. And I think sometimes, I'm hearing a siren. I think sometimes we can mask an emotional intimacy with, oh, she's just my best friend, or we're just best friends, we tell each other everything, blah, blah, blah. But in all actuality, you're developing and creating a soul tie between you and another person that the Lord never intended for you to have a soul tie with. And this is from personal experience. I have experienced this in my own life, to where when you lose that friend, or if the friendship changes, then it literally feels like your heart is broken. And I'm sure many of you have experienced that, because I've even seen memes where it's like best friend breakups are 10 times harder than boyfriend breakups, you know? But that's because you've developed such a deep emotional intimacy with this person You have been dependent upon this person. You go to this person for everything. And ultimately what they're doing is taking that void that the Lord is supposed to fill. And so ultimately they're taking that spot in your life that is only intended for the Lord to have until you get married. And then when you get married, it's a beautiful thing because the Lord expands your emotional capacity and your emotional intimacy to be able to be emotionally intimate with your husband. And so biblically, the way it's supposed to be is that in your singleness, in your single years, in your single season, you're developing that emotional intimacy with the Lord. And then when you get married and he brings you your husband one day, not your boyfriend, not your fiance, but when you step into covenant and you are now husband and wife, then biblically, that's when your husband gets all of your emotional intimacy. And so I think between friendships, the line is so blurred because I don't want you to take what I'm saying and say, oh, Raylan doesn't believe that you can have best friends or close friendships. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that you have to guard your heart. You still have to put boundaries between these friendships because they cannot become your everything. You cannot put all your eggs in one basket with one friendship and expect that friend to give you what you need, because ultimately we're all searching for this deep, intimate love. And I believe that we find that in friendships because really we're waiting and seeking that in a husband and seeking that in a relationship. But instead, it's coming at us in the form of a friendship, which is really toxic because that friendship can't stay in that season forever, because when you do find your husband, y'all's relationship will automatically change. Because now that intimacy belongs to him. And so it's just important to have best friends, have friends, but know the boundaries that have to be in place. You can't be emotionally dependent upon this person, because it causes heartbreak in the end. And you have to go through a process of breaking soul ties and breaking emotional intimacy with people that the Lord he wanted to protect you from that. And he longs for that level of emotional intimacy with you. And one day he will bring you your spouse and you will share that emotional intimacy with someone else, but it's only intended for that person. And there's a level of vulnerability, there's a level of transparency that you share with your friends. But this is something spiritual that I'm talking about. It's like not just close friends. It's like going past boundaries that you should not go past. Not physically, but emotionally. And if you've been in this situation, then you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then it might be hard for you to understand. Because I'm not just talking about, just your average close friend. Like, I'm talking about this is going deeper than that. And so that's why it's hard to explain unless you've been through it. But I have a feeling the people that are asking me have been through this, and that's why they're asking me. So I think just creating those boundaries, it will look like not sharing everything with these people, not going all the way deep with these people, not allowing yourself to become dependent on them, not allowing yourself to be going to them before you go to the Lord for answers. They're a friend, but they're not your God. They don't know the answers to all of your situations. It's important to be in community with people, but you cannot be solely dependent upon one person or many people. People fail you. And you will notice in this relationship as it changes, because it will change one day, that your emotional dependency upon this person was very unhealthy. And you'll realize how emotionally dependent you were on this person to bring you happiness, to bring you joy. If you're sad and they're not giving you the attention that you feel like you deserve from them, then you'll become bitter, you'll become offended. And all of those feelings they're not from the Lord. Like, he does not want you to be that dependent upon a person. And it's really hard to explain. I'm trying to do the best I can to kind of dive into it, but like I said, I feel like you have to know from experience, and oftentimes in these situations you do learn in hindsight, because you just become so close to someone. You start hanging out all the time, you know, you're spending all of your time with this person, and things just start progressing quickly. And then when the relationship changes, you look in hindsight and, oh wow, like, I was way too emotionally invested into this friendship. And it doesn't even necessarily mean that you're two bad people. It can be two people that love the Lord, that are serving in church together. In fact, that's how the enemy wants to disguise it, is, oh no, y'all are just best friends. You both love the Lord. You're both serving in a ministry capacity. All of these things, the enemy wants to disguise it as that. And then really what's happening is an emotional dependency upon each other in the name of godly friendship or godly relationships. And you look at hindsight and you're like, no, this was not of the Lord. Like, the friendship could have been of the Lord until we took it to a place that the Lord never wanted it to go, until we took it into an emotionally intimate place that the Lord did not intend us to go. And so I guess that's kind of all I have to say on that. I would say guard your heart, discern relationships in your life. If this is a friend that the Lord wants you to have, that's beautiful. Do what you can to put emotional boundaries in place so you don't have to end up losing this person, or the relationship doesn't have to change down the line. Put those boundaries in place. Show the Lord that you can have close friendships without making them your number one priority in life. Like, you should be able to have friendships and the Lord still be your top priority. He wants to be your one thing at all times. This friend should not be taking away time from the secret place. This friend should not be jealous of you when you're hanging out with other people. I'm just kind of sharing like red flags that you need to look for in your friendships. Like, if they feel like you need to be with them all of the time, you can't have other friends, that's because they're becoming emotionally dependent on you, and they get offended if you're spending time with other people. And all of these are red flags that I've seen in my own life, and sometimes it's a one-way thing where they're becoming emotionally dependent on you and you don't feel that same dependency upon them. But then you have to be the one, since you're discerning that, you have to be the one to put the boundaries in place, and just to keep them from not making you their savior. And so that's basically that. If y'all want me to do like another like whole just like sit down video on this and dive into more specific questions, just let me know. I know it's a touchy subject, because at the end of the day, I'm not saying don't have godly friendships, don't have best friends. I'm not saying that, and I hope you hear my heart through this, because it is important to have people in your life. It's important to have godly friendships, godly community. It's important to be in communion with the people around you. So don't twist my words. I hope you hear my heart. And I believe that sometimes it can just go to a place that it's not supposed to go. And so that's what I'm referring to. And like I said, if you've been there and you've had those friendships, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. So yeah, I love you guys. We're here for you if you have any questions, if you need prayer. Follow us on Instagram, message me. So reach out, don't hesitate. My Instagram is Raylan Murphy. I will link that in the description below. You can also comment on this video, future videos that you would like to see. If you want me to dive deeper into this subject, you can go ahead and like this video and subscribe to our channel, so you don't miss out on future videos. I love y'all. I hope you have a great rest of your week. I hope the Lord meets you in a special way this week and that you see him in new ways. I'll see y'all next video.